Wait up. You're no 165. This isn't even London. This ain't even Train Sim World. What the f? Ladies, gentlemen, binaries and non-binaries, it has finally come. We have been waiting for this ever since it was announced, and at last, our overlords at Dovetail have finally released the Great Western Express Remaster. This remaster has set out to overhaul this ancient DLC and bring it up to modern standards. So, of course, we're going to have a look at it and see how it's been upgraded. Just ignore that I'm a few days late. I will note, however, that this is a free update for existing owners of Great Western, and all of this was done by one person as a passion project. So I'll choose to be more lenient because, as you'll see, this amazing individual has done their best with the tools he has. So no, you will not be hearing anything about extensions or new lines. Although one can dream. I'm getting sidetracked. That being said, there's things that I think could be improved. I'm still going to note them. But otherwise, let's kick things off, shall we? Already, the updated scenery is a massive thumbs up from me. We have a lot more vegetation surrounding the tracks, and it's evident that Liam has really put a lot of effort into this. It really does bring this ancient route into the modern day, and it shows, as well as having the modern TOD4 lighting system. Stations have also been upgraded, and here are a few highlights that I picked out myself. London Paddington looks much more lively and full. Ealing Broadway now actually has proper underground platforms. Southall's awful excuse of a shed has now been completely replaced with a new asset. And an absolute dump now looks less like a dump with the lighting now fixed. As well as that, Royal Oak and Westbourne Park have also been completely overhauled with TfL signage and station scenery, really bringing these once empty stations to life. I really like all of the upgrades made. It looks way less plain, more detailed, and if you want to see a proper comparison video, I'll link RichyRail's time-lapse from a driver's eye view of the changes because, again, all of this remastering, all of these changes, they really bring this route up to modern standards, and I appreciate the hard work that's gone into it. The 3 trains we originally all got some upgrades in one way or another as well. The 43 is pretty much the same, except it now comes with GWR and First Great Western Blue. And it also has a half-functional GSMR, which puts it in line with the other newer DLCs. Good stuff. Still not a fan of the sounds though. They're still really dated and could use a rework. Especially that god-awful horn. The 66 has had the most substantial change, having its sound set replaced entirely so it sounds more like a 66 and not a piece of crap. It sounds just like the rest of the post-southeastern high-speed sheds, which means it's now more tolerable to drive. Model's still a bit off though, height-wise. A factor that the cargo line packs up fixed, so I'd still rather drive those. We also still have the FKA and HKA wagons. And I have absolutely nothing to say, so moving on. The 166 has also remained the same mostly, also with a half-functional GSMR and also comes with First Great Western Blue as well. Same for the sounds, they're okay since their Train Sim World 2 update, but again, the horn is... One thing to note is the addition of a pseudo 165. It's clearly a 166 posing as a 165, not a modified model in any way. And while it does slightly bug me, I won't rag on about it because it makes the timetable much more realistic, having 2-car pseudo 165s running around, and I'd rather have it than not have it. We also have rail singing, and that is not Train Sim. New rail singing sounds and AI horn sounds in specific places. So, sounds overall, I'll take them. They're mostly the same, bar the 66 being modified to match the rest of the sheds. And there was the addition of the rail singing and AI horns. But yeah, again, I'll take them. They're pretty good nonetheless. I just wish there were some slight improvements to the 43 and 166. But again, it's a free update. I won't complain too much about it. The timetable got a big boost as well in this remaster. It's based on the 2017 timetable and it includes a lot more services to drive for all three trains included. Plenty of HST and turbo runs to play with, and a few freight services too. Yes, you also have the original timetable still available if you want it. Of course, if you want to add more, you'll also need other content for it, and I'm too lazy to read through all of it, so here's a list of content you need for all the extra stuff. I would heavily recommend you wait for a sale for some of these, otherwise you'll be left with a wallet emptier than a Valentine's Day gift. But overall, the timetable is where the remaster truly shines, making the rail scene much busier, especially at Paddington and Ealing Broadway. And I appreciate Liam doing this for us. Of course, some of it is not prototypical and looks off, but again, as it's a free update, this is the best we're getting, and you can disable any of the layers if you don't want them. I don't own Island Line 2022, so I sadly don't get any subsurface traffic. If you own Brighton Main Line, you also get unbranded Class 387s for the remaster. Sadly, they don't have any timetable services, but they're available for free roam drive at least. If you have West Coast South, you also have a 350 pretending to be a 360, operating unbranded Heathrow Connect trains, which are drivable between Paddington and Hayes and Harlington. As mentioned before, the 484 from Island Line 2022 runs subsurface trains in place of the S stock. The 1972 stock from West Coast South also has AI layers at Ealing Broadway in place of the 1992 stock. You get Voyager AI if you own the Voyager, as well as 802 test runs if you own the Riviera line. While the First Great Western Blue is unbranded, there is a branding patch for the PC players out there. Guard functionality and suspension physics have been added to the 166 and HST. And in terms of bugs, there's really only 3 that come to mind, such as the DB Schenker 66 have a mismatch in numbers, the 166 wiper effect wiping the opposite way, and the announcements just saying Hayes instead of Hayes and Harlington. I think those might need some looking into. Overall, for a passion project, I can safely say that it really does elevate this ancient route and bring it into the modern era, with its busier timetable and reworked scenery. I can confidently recommend this route as it is now. You just need those small things ironed out, and of course, it isn't 100% perfect, nothing ever is. This was one of my first routes to play back when I got Trains and World in 2019. The old version was so barren and lifeless, so this remaster is very welcome. And of course, the work Liam has put into it has definitely been worth the wait. Of course, the remasters are not yet finished, as we have 2 more to come, and I certainly can't wait for this one. But anyway, that's my piece said. I'm Blue Jay, and you're now officially tired of me. See you later.